Well, hey people, this is Chris Lucas. Today's November 7th, 2020. It's about 4:50 p.m. here in Indianapolis. Just one little comment I like to make as my son comes down here to interrupt me, but that's all right.
Oh,
Hey, Liam.
Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy just wants to finish the show, okay? It's only going to take me a couple of minutes. It's a real quick point, man. Do you want like you can be on TV with Daddy? See yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, just play this one little clip for everybody. Uh, See, remember, Trump wanted to end anti-Catholic bigotry.
Anti-Catholic bigotry against Judge Barrett's faith. Anti-Catholic bigotry has absolutely no place in the United States of America. It predominates in the Democrat Party, and we must do something immediately about it, like a Republican win. And let's make it a really big one.
He keeps talking about all this anti-Catholic bigotry. He wants to end it. And you know what, Trump? You did it, man. You really sabotaged everything to make sure people voted for Biden. You could have ended the national emergency. You didn't have to spend $6 trillion on flu. You knew this whole thing was wrong, for the past few months, but yet you just keep the lockdown going. You won't end the national emergency. You got to end it so these Democrats and Republican governors wouldn't have a leg to stand on, but you wouldn't do it. And I kind of want to bring people's attention back to this one thing that I said years ago, back in 2012. I was the one to share this with everybody. But remember back in December 19th, 2012, you can see it right there on this. Commonwealth, America's oldest Catholic magazine, they declared that the Catholic takeover of the U.S. is almost complete. Who just got elected? Obama did. But see, on here, they were talking about how they're so happy that they had all these Catholics on the Supreme Court. Yes, they were happy to have Roberts on the Supreme Court, Roman Catholic Roberts. And I kept telling people before Bush even nominated Roberts that he was he was a horrible nominee, and people are kind of attacking me the same way. They're attacking me now when I slam Trump for the things he's done and for the Supreme Court picks he's made and the Attorney General nomination, all Roman Catholics. He doesn't have to do that. And right before the election, there are other people besides me, like even people that kind of believe Trump is like a good president. Even they were like getting kind of like upset and noticing that it's weird that he's nominating nothing but Roman Catholics. So he really had to do that just one more time. It's almost like he wanted to emphasize his own bias towards the Catholic Church and make sure he just does nothing but satisfy them and do nothing for Protestants or the rest of America, right? And please note, Commonwealth magazine, it's the oldest Catholic journal. It's very respected within the Catholic Church, and they were pushing Hillary so hard when Hillary ran against Trump. They all, and like I said, the Catholic Church and the Democrat Party walk hand in hand. The Catholic Church does run the Democrat Party. So when you see a Republican being Catholic, don't be shocked that he's a rhino. Don't be shocked that he's anti-gun like his Catholic Church is anti-gun. Don't be shocked at these things. Don't be shocked when these rhinos, especially when they're Catholic, want open borders, or these very ecumenical Christians when they want open borders and anti-guns and they run as a Republican. Don't be shocked when they support the Catholic Church's policies, which are basically everything the Democrat Party does, because the Catholic Church runs the Democrat Party. It has for probably ever since 1840, I would say, at least. And that's when they first took the Bibles out of public schools, and the Catholic Church made deals with them. And I did videos covering this. So I'm kind of curious, how do they feel today? I bet Commonwealth is just probably ecstatic. So we're going to look at what their site says today. So I'm really curious because I would think they would be just so excited. See, Donald J. Trump is uniquely unfit for the office he holds. Like I said, folks, this is one of the leading Catholic journals, the oldest Catholic journal in America. So you got to think this is really the roots of they represent what the Catholic Church has represented for almost 200 years in America. Okay. That's why when I show that one article by, I really need to find this one by, what was it, Church Militant. Let me just bring this up real quick because I really want people to be reminded of one more thing. See, it's Church Militant is another Catholic publication. And the thing I want you to notice is, what do they call the Southern, when there was the American Civil War, you had the Union and you had the Confederacy. You know what they refer to them as? The Catholic Confederacy. And they go on and talk about it. Let's see here. I just kind of want to highlight one thing. Yeah, okay. Jefferson Davis was the president of the South, right? Okay. President of the Confederacy, was an aspiring Catholic and was sympathetic to the Catholic cause. He was known to wear Catholic sacramentals, a St. Benedict medal, a miraculous medal, and a French scapular, as well as a brown scapular. Despite the United States as a whole not being friendly to Catholicism, North and South, about 20 Confederate generals in his cabinet were also known to be practicing Catholics, and every Catholic bishop in the South supported the Confederacy. And also, one of the reasons why Lincoln had trouble winning the war was his Catholic generals were always betraying him, like Meade and I can't think of the two others that were doing it. But, he was questioning them. You can find these old books written in the 1800s where he's questioning his generals, okay? His Catholic generals, wondering if they're more loyal to the Catholic Church than they are to the Union. So it was well known, even back in that time, but that the Catholic Church was basically behind the Civil War. Lincoln said, this war would have never been possible without the sinister influence of the Jesuits. We owe it to popery that our land is now reddened with the blood of her most noblest sons. Okay? So please understand that, the Catholic Church has been running this. Here's Donald Trump nominating nothing but Catholics. And now you wanted to end anti-Catholicism. You wouldn't answer our cries for saying, hey, Trump, please investigate the rigging going on in Massachusetts. Please, 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 please. And we're all like, there's many of us that were trying to call up our representatives. I did in Indiana. I even have it. I have it on my other laptop. I need to upload it here. But I did call my local reps and say, please, please investigate this rigging. I said, there's talk about how there might be rigging in the general election against Trump. Please investigate this rigging that's going on right now. Please investigate it. So we might be able to better set up a case for if there's a rigging going on in the general election. But guess what? All these truthers out there, all these so-called truthers, all these so-called pro-Trumpers and pro-patriots and all these people doing channels, what were you doing? I cannot hardly find any of you that were yelling and screaming about the rigging that was already going on. You needed to say something, but you didn't. You stayed silent. You wanted Biden for president, okay? You wanted Biden for president because you were staying silent. You wouldn't. You see, you were only complaining about the rigging when it suits you. You wanted Trump elected, so now you're complaining about the rigging. You wouldn't complain about the rigging that was going on in the Republican primaries, especially in Massachusetts, where Dr. Shiva, who was running for Senate, had plenty of proof that they were destroying ballots. I think they got like a Catholic governor in Massachusetts, and here we are complaining that they're all in on the rigging against Dr. Shiva, and Trump doesn't care, and none of you care. So, to me, when all you guys are complaining and crying, when Trump lost, well, why weren't you doing something? Why weren't you saying something back then? You just allowed this to happen. And then it's like we're complaining about, you got Protestants and independents complaining about, hey man, you're a little heavy on the Catholic Church. Why do you keep promoting nothing but Catholics and nominating nothing but Catholics? And you're so concerned about anti-Catholic bigotry, but you're seeming to be very bigoted towards us, as you have 33 advisors that are Catholic, only 20 something of the other 200 denominations. So 20 people represent the other 200 denominations. One church gets 33 representatives, and this is fair. And you don't think this is going to bother people? You did all kinds of things to ruin this election for you, from not investigating the riggings that were going on early on to, and you ignore that. You sign a $6 trillion check for the flu. You spent $6 trillion on the flu. Right there should get you hung. But okay, you want to keep making excuses for him. Why won't he end the national emergency? He declared a national emergency, shut down the whole country, shut down the whole world, and he won't end it. He could end it. He should have ended it months ago. There's no excuse for it. There's nothing pointing to it. There's plenty of cures. I have posted cures. Other doctors have posted cures. Okay, they posted treatments. Well, I guess treatments, cures, it's kind of the same thing, because it leads to the cure. They know. They're not going to die of the virus. They got it. Their immune system's working and able to handle the virus. And, and they got plenty of studies now. We got tons of studies. We just get more and more studies verifying what we already knew back in April. We already had studies back in April showing that we could treat this thing and reduce the deaths almost to nothing. But hey, is Trump naming off any of these studies? Is he firing anyone who's not doing their job in the FDA? Is he even calling them out? No, you know what? And he needs to just end that national emergency, and he won't do it. So for people to think that Trump's on your side, you're wrong. And I'm getting so sick of it and just tired of it. You know what, Trump? This is what you wanted. You wanted this new world order. You wanted to lose, and you said, "Hey, I want to end anti-Catholic bigotry." Guess what? Now you got a Catholic president to go along with every single Catholic that you nominated, which is a Supreme Court full of Catholics, Attorney General that's Catholic. The Catholic Church can just do whatever it wants. A foreign government can now do whatever it wants without any impediment, because Joe Biden will do what this foreign government wants. You can look at the Pope and you can look at the Democrat agenda. It's the exact same. Climate change, Green New Deal, one world currency, one world government, globalist agenda, globalist control, open borders. Why do you think the Pope pushes for open borders? Because he's pushing for one world government. What's the Democrat Party do? Pushes for open borders. What's that ultimately going to lead to? One world government? Are you too stupid? Are these people too stupid to figure that out? But you don't complain. And here's another thing. Trump could complain about Kamala Harris not even being a U.S. citizen, because her parents, she's not natural born. She's definitely not natural born, because you have to have two citizen parents at the time of your birth in order to be natural born. She doesn't even have one. They were both not even U.S. citizens at the time of her birth. Does he call that out? No. But see, Trump also did that same dirty trick to you back when he was like, yeah, well, I got Obama to show his birth certificate. Dude, that wasn't even the issue. You know what the real issue was? The issue Obama admitted to, the issue that the whole Democrat Party admitted to, the issue the whole election board admitted to, that he had a Kenyan father. And he said, I got a Kenyan father. Everyone knows he's got a Kenyan father. No one's going to debate that, not even Obama. Guess what? You had a Kenyan father. You had to have two citizen parents at the time of your birth. You're not natural born. You can be a U.S. citizen, but you're not natural born. Case closed. You're not president. Nothing you did in office should matter. It should be able to be upheld, because it takes a president, a legal president, to be able to do that. But see, he stands silent, and guess what? My prediction is he'll stay silent about Kamala Harris. And I bet you what he does is he runs things the same way that he attacked that birth certificate. See, he should have attacked the natural born citizen part of it, the part that everybody admitted to, and get Obama to prove that. No, he went with the one that everyone can that looks a little bit harder to prove. And you know what I'm wondering? Do you do the same thing as you're fighting the election results, Trump? Do you sit there and you go and make the bad arguments? That's what I wonder. I bet you go and you make the bad arguments. Just gonna bring this up again because I am curious. What should they think about? Let's click on politics. Let's see what the nation's leading Catholic journal is saying right now. I'm really surprised they're not flipping out and just celebrating. No, I don't really see too much that just stands out. So for some reason, they're not like jumping. I mean, I know they love this though right now. I know they're loving that Biden became president. They just love it. And but like I said, back in 2012, they were pretty giddy about right after Obama got nominated. So I really hope people understand this and kind of start putting two and two together. But I think it's kind of good Biden's elected because the Patriots just couldn't see this, just couldn't see it. So I just kind of want to give people a little refresher about what was said back on December 19th of 2012 and relate that to today. Because how do you think, what do you think the headline should be today? It probably should be the Catholic takeover of the U.S. is complete. You can just scratch out that almost complete. It's complete. Wait a minute. Maybe you know what? Here, I'll help them out. I'm gonna take and make a real quick. There we go. And I'm just gonna put Catholic takeover is complete. And now I can make that more fitting. See, I got that in the back of my head. If someone can see that headline, the Catholic takeover of the U.S. is almost complete. So I'll just kind of help them out and kind of fix that for them. Make it a 2020. There we go. Now we can have it be the 2020 version of it. There we go. There you go, Commonwealth. Look what you did, man. Biden is president. The Catholic takeover of the U.S. is complete. We can scratch out that almost. Thanks to Trump. Trump, you did it. Congratulations. You completed the takeover. Good job. You appointed nothing but Catholics. There's nothing to stop them now. You gave Protestants the middle finger. And also all you Indiana federal state representatives, in the Congress and Senate. Mike Braun, Jim Banks, Todd Young, congratulations, you did it. Because you're in on it too. You just ignored our calls whenever we complained about the primaries being rigged, especially in Massachusetts against Dr. Shiva. You did absolutely nothing. You didn't care. In fact, you were like, hey, that's one of our boys running against Shiva, O'Connor. From my understanding, Catholic O'Connor. So, I'm thinking you're like, well, I'm not going to let some guy who's anti-deep state and not Catholic, we're not going to let him win. So we're going to support what's happening to Dr. Shiva. Because you're a bunch of bigots, aren't you? Yeah. And I mean, that's America for you right now. That's why this whole world's in a sad state. This is supposed to be the leader of the free world, America is, right? This is why the whole world's on lockdown. This is why the whole world's in a sad state. This is why, you got, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I need to increase the size of my picture. See, now you can see that headline I made. I'll just kind of duck out of the screen for a second. In fact, there we go. I fixed that Commonwealth headline, so now you can see what needs to be said. That's the 2020 headline. But yeah, this world's in a sad, sorry state. And just to close out my broadcast, sorry if anyone's tuning in late. I fixed Commonwealth's headline though from 2012, December 19th, 2012. Since Trump wanted to end anti-Catholicism and Biden's now the president, I fixed it. See, look, I scratched out almost because today it's complete. Yeah, I fixed it. Made it good, man. Made it all good. Yep. So, and just to close out the show, you want everyone, this is why the world's in this sorry state where you have already 7,686,122 people. I was about ready to say 121. Well, 123. I'm sorry. 124. Gosh, this is so hard to do because that number. Someone keeps dying of starvation before I can even finish my sentence. But see, this is how bad your world is, and you guys think you people think your government's locking you down because they love you. And here's the USA, the leader of the free world, and a lot of people look up to us. Look, we are sad. We are a sad nation, and this is why this nation's about ready to come under judgment, and the whole world. And you guys will not wake up and tell people the truth and be like, man, look at this guy Trump. He spent $6 trillion on the flu, and he didn't save a life. He killed people because he gave people extra money for putting people on ventilators. And he made a national emergency out of this, which scared people. And so when the doctor said, oh my gosh, if we don't put you on this ventilator, you're going to die, people who didn't even need to be on a ventilator agreed to be put on a ventilator, and they died. And you gave doctors encouragement by bribing them, by telling them, hey, you can get $39,000 to do this. And some of these doctors, being scared and being spineless, they were so scared of the virus themselves. They said, oh, Chris, I know it might have killed some people, but I was so scared of the virus. And I did have a doctor tell me this. I was so scared. I just didn't want that DAMN virus all over the place. So I wanted to keep it contained by putting them on a ventilator. So you had some doctors believing this. And they might have been, maybe they are people with decent intentions, and they're just scared, and they just did what they thought they could do to save their own lives or the lives of their hospital. And they were like, I got to make tough decisions sometimes. But all I know is you're responsible, Trump. You contributed to this. You wouldn't expose it, and you nominated nothing but deep state. You got, I mean, all you people got what you deserve coming to you, because you got to start speaking out. But you cannot keep sugarcoating it and cutting excuses. Like I said, I understand if you were going to vote for Trump, but if you voted for Trump and you were telling people, hey, this time, let's hold his feet to the fire. Let's call him out every single time he tries to nominate deep state, but you wouldn't do that. Up until the very end, you wouldn't do that. At the very end, you should have said, maybe we shouldn't nominate Amy Coney Barrett. Maybe we should nominate a Protestant or something, because gosh, man, that might offend all the Protestant voters and all the independent voters that vote for Trump. Because there's a lot of independent and Protestant voters that are non-Catholic, and they don't like the Catholic Church, and they think they're a bunch of pedophiles. And isn't that the whole thing you were elected to get rid of Trump? Partly is that you're going to fight these pedophiles, but yet you keep nominating all these people from the Catholic Church, and that is the biggest pedophilia institution in the world. Yeah, it's stupid, man. Anyone that believes that this whole staged nonsense is stupid, and I think it's all rigged. I think Trump's just playing a part in this whole thing, and it's all just a show, and that he's all in on it. And whichever way this thing winds up going, whether Biden remains president or whether Trump becomes president or vice versa, however you want to look at it, right? Whether Trump remains president or Biden becomes president, or maybe they keep doing a switcheroo as they fight it out in the courts. Whatever way, Trump's in on it, and the ultimate goal is the New World Order is going to get advanced, just like he advanced it this year more than it's ever gotten advanced ever in the history of the world. It's gotten advanced more this year. Whole world's under lockdown, and this ain't a time to like sugarcoat things and try to tell people, oh, things would be better if Trump gets in, or that the lockdown's going to end and he'll end it and he's fighting for you. Well, there's no proof of that. There's absolutely no proof of that. So don't tell people that. Let's tell people the truth. Even if they don't like it, you tell them that, and we all find a way to work together to change the truth. The truth is we got two very corrupt people right now, and who either one can become president, one can remain president, the other one can become president. And the trajectory is not good either way. I mean, can anyone reasonably say they wouldn't rather have the type of country we had under Obama compared to Trump, where the whole world's locked down? At least Obama didn't lock down the world, but Obama's not even a natural born citizen, shouldn't have even been president in the first place. But if you're going to be real and you're going to kind of look past that one thing, you got to say things were better under Obama, right? Because at least Obama wasn't stupid enough to spend $7 trillion on the flu. So, and that's not what we voted for when we voted for Trump, was it? We voted for a guy that was going to do better. And it's kind of sad the way things have turned out. And people need to, wake others up, and help them to see what's really coming. Don't hide this fact. I mean, please. I mean, don't sit there and look at that screen as all these people are dying of hunger. I bet about 100 people at least have died of starvation in this whole world. I mean, that's a horrible way to die. Can you imagine dying of starvation, being a child or anything, or an adult dying of starvation? How horrible that is. Half the child deaths in this world are due to starvation. Do you people realize that? I mean, stop playing games, man. Be real. That's all I'm asking. And that concludes my broadcast that probably a bunch of people hate because they want to believe a delusional lie. And good day. Have a good Sabbath. Since the seventh day is the Sabbath.